In our society today, it is so rare to not be multitasking or feel like you need to be checking your phone constantly. So it can be really hard to just sit down and play a game and focus on that. I oftentimes find myself fighting the urge to fidget and get up and do something during games, and it actually makes it a lot harder for me to just focus on the game than if I have something in my hands that I'm doing. I also have seen and had conversations with friends on this same issue. And while like clicking a pen or building dice towers or rolling dice can kind of help get rid of that fidgety urge, it also can be kind of annoying to the other players. So how do we fight this urge to fidget or get up and do something without disrupting gaming for everybody else? I have 6 suggestions for you today. So my first suggestion is to actually take notes. Write down what's going on in session. This will keep you really focused on what's going on, give your hands something to do, and it's going to be really helpful, especially if you're playing a long-running campaign that's taking place over several months or several years. You'll be able to go back and look up, like, who was this guy that we talked to, 3 months ago in this town? We're running into him again, or I picked up this item, oh, I can't remember exactly what it was. Personally, I like to knit during sessions. I've discovered that it really needs to be something that is a pretty simple pattern, that I don't have to be counting stitches or really referring back to the pattern a whole lot. Scarves are nice because since the rows are generally shorter, it's a lot easier to set it down at a moment's notice of, oh hey, we're in combat, so I'm gonna have to be making a whole lot more rolls. I don't want my hands full of knitting, so I can set it down. In addition to knitting, any kind of small craft will work. So things like crochet, origami, sewing. The key to it is that it should be kind of small and portable, easy to set down, and ideally something that you don't really need to concentrate on. So it's something that you can listen and contribute to the story and the role play while you're doing it. And if you're good enough, you won't even need to look at that craft. For me, knitting, I don't really need to be looking at it to be able to do it. Sketching is another activity that really works well. During a recent Dresden Files game, one of the players sketched a bunch of our characters. Again, this is something that you can easily pick up and put down. It doesn't require a whole lot of concentration. Plus, the sketches make awesome gifts for your friends. She gave this to us. And it's a super fun way to document the kind of awesome, silly things that happen in session. Case in point, whale wind. Yeah. On a simpler level, just a stress ball is another great thing to kind of help that fidgeting urge. It kind of fulfills the same satisfaction as like sitting there and clicking a pen, but it won't drive the other players nuts with a clicking sound. If you're somebody who likes to snack during sessions, nuts might be a good suggestion for kind of fulfilling both snacking and a fidgeting urge. Not only are they going to be healthier than some other more kind of traditional gaming snacks, yeah, I'm looking at you, Doritos, but also with peanuts and pistachios, if you get them in the shell, then the act of shelling them will kind of help give you something that your hands are doing while you're concentrating on the game. One thing I am gonna say about all of these is it's a good idea to check with the rest of the people you're gaming with that what you're doing to kind of help you concentrate isn't actually going to distract them. So the first time I started knitting during a session, I brought my knitting with me and I started knitting, and I noticed one of the other players seemed a little distracted by it. Not too long into the session, there was kind of a nice opportunity for me to lean over and say, hey, is this distracting you? Should I stop? It turned out it wasn't the actual act of knitting that was distracting him, it was him trying to figure out the mechanics of knitting, how this thread of yarn was actually becoming a fabric. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll explain it to you. And at that point he was like, oh great, this doesn't distract me anymore. I also checked with everybody else and no one was distracted by it. But you don't want anybody to be distracted by it or to think that you're uninterested in what's going on in the session. You want to make it clear that this is purely just something that you kind of need because, sitting around a table and talking for like 4 hours at a time can sometimes get a little bit like, I just need to do something. So those are my suggestions on how to fight the urge to fidget. So do you guys have any suggestions on non-distracting ways to fight fidgeting? If so, leave them in the comments down below. I'm kind of always interested to find out what little crafts and hobbies and stuff like that people do. at the same time as gaming. And as always, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time on Roll for Initiative. Bye!